Hello, as you may know, I have a new monthly zine club and I just got the prints for the first month in the mail. So I thought I would walk you through the whole process, show you the zine from January and just give you a little sneak peek. So this is the finished zine. It's called Break the Spell and it is about productivity culture and the lies it tells us and how creativity can be the antidote to all of the things that productivity culture tells us and all the rules that it creates, right? So I'm going to walk you through the whole process so you can see what I did. So I started out with a piece of paper and I folded it like a zine. So it basically, you make a piece of paper like this, you fold it into eighths, and then you sort of pinch it where that hole is, and then it creates a little booklet. And I labeled all the pages so that I would know where they fell. I started to draft it on paper, and then apparently I stopped drafting it on paper. And then what I did is I moved to the computer and made a PowerPoint slide basically with these numbers. So if you look at the page, you see that these numbers are right side up, and then these numbers are right side up here. So like the bottom of the artwork is actually in the middle. Sometimes it's the other way around, depending on how you fold it. It's a little bit different every time. So I made a PowerPoint slide, and then I drafted out what I wanted it to say in the order that it was on this page, so I know that it will fold correctly. And then I drafted out my initial ideas for what I wanted the imagery to be. So I knew this whole thing was about breaking the spell and the trance that productivity culture has on us and the magic of creativity. So I wanted to, put like a little crystal ball. And then these were little thought bubbles. I had, I just wrote some things like marching workers capitalism, which ended up being more like Magritte's Gioconda, which is like businessmen falling from the sky. So this was my first draft. Well, this was my first draft. This was my second draft. And then I took it to a piece of paper and collaged it. And this one I didn't fold because I wanted it to scan correctly and photograph correctly, and I didn't want it to have the folds in it. So I had to be really careful like where the lines would be. So I drew the lines out of where the folds would be. I wrote the page numbers, and then I designed each section. So if you look at this, I have Break the Spell. This is the front cover and this is the back cover. And so here's the front cover and here's the back cover. What I love about zines is how you can take an image and it can fold over onto multiple pages like this. Well, at one point it did actually. At one point this glitter paper went over into this page, but looks like I covered that up. So, but a lot of times they'll break over like this. These speech bubbles go over into the next page. And then I designed each one. I used a lot of painted papers that I create. So I do a lot of jelly prints and things like that on different types of paper, so that anytime I want to do a collage, I have papers that I made myself. Like these, I just did like little patterns with the paint marker. I prefer to use my own painted paper rather than like scrapbook paper. So that's what most of this is. So you can see there's like this cool pattern here that actually is from the bottom of a flip-flop from Daiso. That pattern is, I did some like spray patterns. Some of these are from rollers, like a lot of different types of patterns there. And then I did something bold that I don't typically do, which is I use my own handwriting. And I don't ever use my own handwriting because I hate my handwriting. I have a tremor, so my hand shakes. And so it's really hard to get me to slow down enough to write and without messing it up, because sometimes my hand just like twitches and I just can't control that. So some of these I had to rewrite several times, and some of them I just kind of fixed. But I was like, you know what? I like to see the hand of the artist. I think it adds something to it. I was originally planning on typing it and then putting it on here, and I just felt like, let's actually use my own handwriting, and that was a little bit scary for me. So then I took this, scanned it, and then I sent it to the printer. I tested it out on my printer at home, which is not very good printer, but I tested it out. It worked good. And then the printer was able to fold it into fourths. And so next, what I'm going to have to do is fold them into 8. So I'll take my bone folder, I'll fold each one carefully. I will cut the hole in the center of each one, fold it like the zine, and then stick it in the mail. So there's still a few steps ahead of me, and I have a whole bunch of folding and cutting to do, but I'm so excited to get these in the mail for you. So if you signed up, it's coming soon. If you didn't, you still can get this one if you go to the link in my bio, and then you click at the bottom, you click add last month's zine, and then you'll get 2 zines in the mail on your first month. So you'll get the February one and the January one. Yeah, that's it. I'm super excited about it. I hope you love it. I love it. It was really fun for me and to create. And I just love that I'm going to have all these little books with my words and my art out there in the world, inspiring people. So join the Creative Permission Slip and get your zine in the mail. And yeah, cindyingram.com/permission. Bye.